Here we are about to enter the museum. It's located on two roads next to the mayor's office, behind the Banco de la República and in front of Bolivar Park. On the first street is the bay.
It is a two-story colonial house built in 1630. It has a tower from which ships arriving at the port could be seen.
Renovated in 2014, the Tairona Gold Museum Customs House is a meeting point for culture in Santa Marta and valuable cultural work offered to visitors by the Santa Marta Cultural Center of the Bank of the Republic.
Para atrapar a alguien. Nos contaron en la barranca que un jovencito de 14 años de edad, había sido raptado por un nieta.
Travelers along Magdalena in the 19th century. This exhibition room invites visitors on a thoughtful and immersive journey through the region, guided by the writings, observations, and wonderful impressions of French, British, German, and American naturalists. These travelers, many of whom were scholars and scientists, arrived in the Caribbean port city of Santa Marta during the 19th century with little idea of what they would find. For them, the landscape, people, and customs were entirely new and, in many ways, astonishing. The experience within this room begins with a video projection. The screen shows the image of an open book, its page turning slowly. As a narrator reads aloud from the writings of Preston Lab, one of those early visitors. His words paint a vivid picture of his first glance of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. He describes the majestic view of the towering mountains as nothing short of magical, an overwhelming, almost spiritual experience that left a lasting impression on him from the very first moment. However, not all of the travelers' impressions were filled with admiration. As they move away from the dramatic natural surroundings and venture into the town itself, their tone often shifts. The interior of Santa Marta was frequently described as peculiar, unfamiliar, and somewhat disappointing. It lacked the mythical allure that its distant silhouette had promised. Some described it as a place where beauty gave way to a rougher and less romantic reality.
Their accounts were shaped by their own cultural expectations and preconceived notions, often derived from European standards of comfort and urban development. One recurring critic was the condition of the streets. They were poorly paved, uneven, and dusty, especially when compared to the more orderly cities of Europe from the same period.
Among the many observations, the travelers note how locals spend their evenings. Rather than reading or engaging in solitary pastimes, it was common to find people reclining or sitting outside their homes in the warm evening air. These were moments of community and conversation, where storytelling and verbal exchange took precedence over books. It was a lifestyle rooted in interaction and oral tradition, contrasting with the more individualistic customs the travelers may have been used to.
Metal objects rich in memes from the Niwange and Tairona periods are displayed in this room to highlight the communities and transformation in their techniques, forms, use, and representation. Several members of Gobi people expressed that they could traffic the gold utensils used by the Mama. Mama Pedro Juan mentioned that they could in the golden sun shift to the ones dance are performed every January, making it an ancestral ritual. They could make gold beads, pectorals, and other elements necessary for the glory of the spiritual god, his mom. He also created golden trumpets, rattles, seats, and ceremonial houses made of gold. He made all these things so that the gold ornaments could be worn during the ceremonial house, tends to consider the harvest, call for rain, and invoke drought.
This part of Kogi mythology, which with gratitude, fervor, and love for the gods and nature, they continue to practice over time, giveth strength and relevance to their legacy and cultural wealth, centered in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. In this space, a series of pieces dating back to the Newange 200 BC to 900 AD, and Tairona 900 to 1600 AD. The Tairona artisan perfect techniques such as lost wax casting and filigree, creating intricate ornaments like nose rings, pectorals, and some more figures that represented elements of their world view.
This room also highlights the vibrant human tapestry of the Magdalena Department, a region shaped by its geography and enriched by the diverse crafts we navigate. The people of the Sierra, the river, and the sea each bring their unique perspectives, traditions, and ways of life. Together, they form a cultural mosaic that is as complex as it is beautiful. This connection is visible in many aspects of their lives, particularly in their traditional clothing. They are not only functional but also deeply symbolic, expressing cultural values and ancestral knowledge passed down through generations.
The indigenous communities of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, such as the Kogi, Aruaco, Wiwa, and Cancuamo, each possess their own distinct identity yet share a profound relationship with the land. This connection is visible in many aspects of their lives, particularly in their traditional clothing. They are not only functional but also deeply symbolic, expressing cultural values and ancestral knowledge passed down through generations. In this exhibition, visitors can view a variety of these traditional outfits and cultural artifacts, each displayed carefully behind glass. These displays offer a rare and respectful look into indigenous craftsmanship and cosmology. Among the items of view are intricately woven mochilas. In addition, the room features a selection of molded clay vessels, many of which are designed with a low base and broad body, like used for storing food or water. Some of these pieces are particularly notable for their animal-like features, shaped to resemble local fauna or mythical creatures.
Together, these displays celebrate the diversity, artistry, and cultural richness of the people of Magdalena, reminding us that this region is more than just a place on the map. It is a living heritage shaped by centuries of interaction between people and place.
Welcome to this space, filled with history and memories illustrated through various elements and photographs preserved as evidence of this past.
This is a space dedicated to the Libertador of Six Nations, Simón Bolívar, who died in 1830 in Santa Marta and was later stayed on the second floor of this house after his death, at the nearby Quinta de San Pedro Alejandrino. This room commemorates the presence of the Libertador. The entire room presents a chronology that traces his triumphs and defeats, his loves and estrangements, while multiple voices reflect the enduring legacy of his memory.
The inclusion of the Bolivar was War room in the museum allows visitors to understand Bolivar's significance beyond his role as a military and political leader. His presence in Santa Marta and the events that took place there highlight the connection between national history and local heritage. This space invites in reflection on the identity, memory, and legacy of the Libertador within the context of the Colombian Caribbean.
If you enjoyed the information we provide, you can visit this wonderful museum in the city of Santa Marta. If you're coming for a visit, here are some recommendations to ensure you have an amazing experience. Arrive early to avoid the crowds. Wear comfortable and light clothing. Don't forget your camera to capture unforgettable moments. Don't take photos or videos with flash. Bring water. Don't touch the glasses. So, you are always welcome to this beautiful city.
Allá va.